seems so strange when you roll along with the disappointed. You spill into the streets with the phenomenon and the anointed. Mr. Barry, he told me what to do. His eyes are blazing blue, but the mirror held on to me real tight as we breezed on through the night. Don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I don't know what I'll do. The wolves, they hit the town, then everyone, yeah, they scurried for their life. And depends on the wolves you meet if you're going to survive this town. Mr. Barry, he told me what to do. His eyes are blazing blue, but the mirror held on to me real tight as we breezed on through the night. Don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I don't know what I'll do. Well, you've come a long, long way, and now you're going home. Yeah, it's alright. And the show went well today, but you never really know. Yeah, it's just another Tuesday night. Oh, well, Mr. Barry, he told me what to do. His eyes are blazing blue, but the mirror held on to me real tight as we breezed on through the night. Don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I don't know if I'll make it through, 'cause I don't know what I'll do.
Thank you. I'm a poet, and I'll start with my poem Perspectives. Perspectives don't belong to lifeless void spaces. You can compare yourself to lifeless emptiness, but that comparison is your perspective. You can't escape having perspectives. You're not in an empty void or dead yet. And after death, is there a lifeless void? You don't know, and you do have perspectives. Are perspectives linked in universal consciousness? Love, hate, morality, sin, heaven, beauty and ugliness are defined differently in different perspectives. Do truth and reality exist only in perspectives? You exist in mine, and I exist in yours. Do gods exist in ours, and do we exist in God's perspectives? Can science, time or space, atoms and subatomic particles, energy exist in the absence of perspectives? Who you really are is according to you. You can be anything you imagine. A universe is infinite or finite depending on your perspective. If I'm happy and there's no suffering in the universe, and that is my perspective. One thing could be a contradiction in terms of conflicting perspectives. I could be happy according to my perspective, but sad according to yours. The same relationships can be loving, caring, and joyful, or loveless and sad. Perspectives. Woo! Okay, this one is called The Right to Be Out of Harmony. It preceded the Occupy Wall Street movement, and it goes, my clothes I ration, I don't wear fashion, I budget rationally, not borrowing fashionably, I patch my dungarees, cut my own hair, not spending on what I don't need, money I don't bleed, for I have what I need at any rate, I don't react to subliminal bait, I respond with passion, not buying unnecessary fashion, my truth is my wealth, I choose to be content, not cool, I choose with awareness, not as a fool. I don't need votes of confidence, come with me and rally, all of you are also self-confident. Join me and screw the fashion industry. I exercise, take vitamins, and drink fresh juice. I don't choose to live stressfully. I avoid the fast food disease noose. Prevention and healthy lifestyle keeps me well. Join me and screw the medical cartel. Let's join in defense of our independence and not accept being harmonized. Let's take the evil, greedy corporations by the horns as they try to become supreme and globalized. Let's rebel against their scandalous scorns. They want us to follow their decrees as slaves. To do it is not in our best interests. Let's defend ourselves against them as pests. Join me and fight if you are free. Protect our right to live out of harmony. This one I wrote this last weekend, my newest poem. Awaken, and this is beyond occupation Wall Street. It's where they should have led to and what they've done in other countries. Awaken in defense of our freedom and quality of being. I hear silence and noise and silence. I am you and you are me. I look beneath illusions to the other side, that is the same as this side. I was once asked, don't you understand it is what you think will be? I understand, and therein is our dormant power. I simply am, I am warm with a thought all through winter. If abstract thinking brings up ideal forms, the illusions are what we believe we observe through our senses. This is what led to Aristotle's philosophy. Some people are bodies meant to be slaves. Others are minds meant to be masters. Perhaps masters should be called monsters, consequently oppressive aristocracy. Reject that social order. Think of ourselves as minds as much as any aristocrat, and of aristocrats as being bodies as much as any of us. We have minds, use our minds, choose our leaders from our ranks through our collective thoughts, then elect them through our collective actions. Ban forced drugging, shocking, and all other abuses of our children, elderly, disabled, and even healthy adults. Keep our minds awake. Self-defense is always a choice when necessary. We should defend our freedom with all our might, but make sure we fight our real oppressors, not scapegoats so framed, who are as oppressed by our own aristocrats as much as us. We aren't just bodies. Awaken our minds, improve our environment and social order now. Okay, and I'll finish with, thank you. That's my newest one. And I guess I'll finish with this one. It's called No, not this one. This one, Skywood. Also the title of a collage painting by my good artist friend, Chaim Mendelson. Do you know that I love you and I want to help free you? Like the pigeon entangled in a plastic bag, struggling to get free, but entangling itself even more, so I expressed my intentions as I picked the bird up, gently and tediously untangling the bag. The dove knew and became peacefully still. I released above my head powerful wings, straight above. The dove flew upward, just like the bird in Chaim Mendelssohn's Skywood. From the depths of my heart, I know it is possible, and I hope this helps you be free. If it does, you're welcome to fly to me or far yonder, wherever your heart desires. I love you. I want you to be free.
No, I don't want to plug. Oh, plug that, Mike.
Plug you.
Oh, plug you, Mike. Plug me.
I'll plug you.
It's so good. Don't be caught. So we get explain.
Do you want to guess how much I bought this dress for? I bought this dress today. Guess how much it was worth?
$9.
No, but close.
$3.
No, guess.
$5.
No.
$8.
Yeah! So, Dan Ricca, Mike Milazzo, and the other Mike,
Go.
we made this song backstage about 30 minutes ago. I don't quite remember how it goes, but we're going to do it anyway. That's what we do! On Tuesday night! I'm sorry. directly. How much more time do I have?
26 seconds.
Oh, well, you know what I love about the East Village?
What?
I was saying that to Dan. So you can be walking down the street, and the cars are roaming by like, and you can fart, and no one will know it.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about the East Village. Back in New York! Have a good night. Ridiculously awesome.
Alright guys, we got deck is Michael Birch, double deck is Rojo. Right now, it might be your first time here. Is this your first time here, Jamie? Possibly.
Yeah.
It is? It is! Well, it's their very first time here, so give a big clap. We're welcome to Jamie L!
Hi everyone. So, one of my resolutions was to get up and do this year.
Yeah!
I've been doing this before, but I write a lot, so now I'm about to share with you things that people that know me really well don't know about.
Woo! Yeah.
Across the room, she sits in her chair. I look at her, and she returns the stare. I hesitate, or is it glare? A total stranger digging into my past. Asking her questions, my heart beats fast. I feel vulnerable and small. I'm shrinking down, becoming as pale as the wall. The walls around this tiny space, where I'm trapped for almost an hour, and yet I'm so far away. Removed from the present and avoiding what's next, I'm in my head considering what's best. What's best for me and how I'll move ahead. The strength to overcome the feelings that replace the blankets on my bed. In the way they wrap me around me, they cover me up. It's not a safe feeling, and I can't give them up. I didn't always feel them, they weren't always there, and you can't see the feelings from the outside, so what I had seemed rare. Strange to the people on the outside that knew me so well, but on the inside, I was going through hell. And then I'm back in the room where the walls are pale. I don't know why I'm crying. I'm trying to inhale. Breathe in, breathe out. I was fixed for so long, so what's different now? Her job is to judge, and the emotion is gone. I don't like her questions about my mom, and the way I grew up, and the things I recall. Don't you see how that affected you? Don't you see it at all? She stares at me until an answer comes forth. She'll sit in silence for what's worth. The value of my answer may cause a breakthrough. She'll wait for my response, so I get a new view. Like a door that won't open, like a window facing a wall, a diseased brain blocks the view of it all. I can't see forward beyond point A. Point B doesn't even exist. It's so far away. I'm trapped in my mind. Somebody help get me out. I can't do this much longer. I'm filled with doubt. Nothing is certain. There's never a clear choice. Indecision and worry take away my voice. But now I'm sitting here, being asked to speak. She asks me why, and I just feel too weak. Did the medication really change that much? Did a chemical imbalance put me in this rut? I watched this man, all crippled up, wheel onto the subway, and it's gotta be tough. Pushing those wheels over the gap, moving through all the people hovering over his path, I wonder how the tires will stay in place as we screech along the subway at such a fast pace. And when I look at him, I can see what's not right. The physical deformity is in plain sight. And I wonder what's worse when it comes to our scars, the ones on the outside or the ones kept in the dark. We're taught so young not to stare, and we're children. As children, we want to know what's different over there. He doesn't look normal, she doesn't look right. The physical differences alarm children at times. And probably adults too, but we know how to behave. We're politically correct until the grave. We glance out from the corner of our eye. We allow ourselves to indulge in wondering why. And all this is possible because of what we physically see. If you turn the deformity inside out, then how would it be? I ride the same subway car, and people don't stare. My brain is deformed, but nobody cares. Inside of my head, everything is out of place. Neurons are firing at an impossible pace. If you opened my brain, what would these people see? Then all of a sudden, everyone would be staring at me. But for today, It's this woman in the chair. She's the only one who gives me the stare, at least at first, but now I'm staring too. I'm outside of my body and I'm in total view. Who is this girl crying over there? I feel like I know her from somewhere. What's sad though is that it's not me. I'm trapped inside and I need to get free. Can a little white pill take the pain away? I was told it worked before, but who's really to say? When the mind is deformed, there's nothing to see. I put blind faith in this woman with a PhD who sits across the room in the oversized chair, who does what we're taught not to. She gives me a stare. When the mind is deformed, there's nothing to see. Still, I'm screaming out, how do we fix me?
Right now, please welcome the one, the only, Michael Birch.
Hey, thanks, gang. Good to be here at Penny's Open Mic. Guys, you know me. I'm famous, right? I'm part of this YouTube channel / show called Key of Awesome. So, see? Right? Now you get it. Anyway, I got a big One Direction parody coming out Friday. We got we got Directioners in the audience? Yeah. Those are Directioners in the house. This is exciting because this is a preview of the video. You won't be able to see it. It'll just be my performance with the track because I have to sing over someone's vocals tomorrow. But I'm playing the character in the video, and I have like an unwritten rule that I always do my own vocals. I lip sync to other people's vocals. So I gotta have it for tomorrow. So I hope that you'll indulge me and I can practice the song. And you get a preview of it before anybody, before any of the Directioners. So if you have any Directioner fans, if you're just on Twitter, you can just tweet that you saw this before them. See if you can get them jealous. Tell them you're a believer. That's the people that like Justin Bieber. Those are Directioners. Okay, so and this video, regardless of what you might think of the song, because it's, you'll listen to it, you can judge. But it's gonna get like 13 million views, I think, probably on YouTube. So I hope, and I probably won't let my mother see it. So let's do it. The only time I'm the director of the One Direction video, and I come in and tell them how to act, and it's sort of as the video goes on, it gets a little. I want them to be gayer and gayer. So that's basically the premise. So when you hear the other kids singing, that's One Direction. There's 5 of them, and then me, and there'll be jokes that you don't understand because you can't see the video. Thank you, Lucky.
Oh, I'm just trying to make it to the beauty salon. Get out of my way, gotta get my nails done. Wanna get my eyebrows ready, then I'll get a funky smoky stripe on my head. Oh, pika pika boo, where did I come from? Looks like he gave birth to me from his skunk bum. If else could you stop the fight without the light? I think I'm feeling motorcycle sick.
You're not as cute as these other two, so let's just move you. There, now mince about and act as though you're having fun.
He only gives us one direction.
Now run from the way.
I'm a old hairspray. The swinker is a sad old man. He's got us dressed like old man band. Can we take a break?
No bloody way. Now put on swimsuits.
We're quite pasty. We've yet to develop muscles. Oh, this one director won't ever let us leave.
You can leave as soon as you hit puberty.
Come on, man, it's cold here. Come over here. Harry's crying frozen tears. He's dead. Well, they tell us where that guy was back when he was a kid. I hope we don't die on the toilet like he did. Someone let me off the ride. I'm dying inside.
This is the world's smallest violin. Let's have you to remove those sailor suits and dress like prostitutes. Yeah.
The saddest part is we're not getting paid that much. They never even buy us lunch, and that's not fair. That's my head.
Now put on these assless chaps. I put them at the assless gap. Let's do 50 shades of gray and let him hit you. It's a tissue. I just tricked you. I made you sniff glue. So let me fist you. Ha ha. Just checking if you were listening. Let's go hillbilly head fishing. Then let's do the ending from Brokeback Mountain.
I'm starting to have fun.
Try to make him stay, and that's when you say,
I wish I could quit you.
So look for the video on Friday, Early Political on YouTube. Key of Awesome, I'm the father of awesome. Thanks, guys.
That was Michael Birch! You guys know the key of awesome, man. Yeah. Father of awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, on deck is Nikhil Tiwari. Double deck is Kara Brennan. Right now, please welcome the very funny Rojo Perez!
Thank you. Michael Birch is a treat. I love that dude. That's the guy I want to have beers with and listen to him talk. Some stories. What is up? How's it going? Alright? How's it going, buddy? Alright? There we go. Look at this. Nice and close. We're having fun. We're doing it! We're doing it on their same marks. Bless you. God bless you. You guys feel that? Feel that silence? Can you feel silence? I can. How fun is that? Oh man, I've been drinking for too long tonight. What's up? I should stop drinking. Remember that thought? Like I should stop drinking. Who cares? I don't give a fuck. I'm having fun. We're gonna be friends forever tonight because of booze. No, yeah, at least for tonight. We'll be friends for tonight, at least. Worst case scenario. Like, did you know you're allowed to cry in public if you have a beer in your hand? You know, that's okay. Like, you see someone in the corner crying, like, that dude's going through some shit, then you see him with a beer, like, oh, he's working it out. You know, striving for better. I haven't been around in a while. I was out of town. I was back home last week. I cried last week for the first time in months. I beat my nephew playing one-on-one basketball, but I like crushed him. Like I beat him by a lot. Like it was one of those beatings where I questioned if I should tell his friends or not. Like that sort of big beating. Where like it felt like I had the cheat codes to NBA Jam. I remember that, like, everything was just going in. It probably didn't help that every time I'd score, I'd lean in and be like, I'm on fire. He didn't get it, he's a child, but it's a good reference. It was funny, it was enjoyable. But after the last game, his choice, not mine, I scored the last bucket, and my nephew grabs the ball and fucking punts it on the roof. Just kicks it. And I hear him I see him stomp away, and he starts crying. And like in between stomps and tears, I hear him go, "You ain't shit!" And like walks away. Again, I don't know if he meant if he was talking to me being like, "You're not that good, uncle, you ain't shit." Or if he was in his own head being like, "I can't believe I let that old man beat me. You ain't shit. I fucked him up. I really beat him by a lot. It was embarrassing." But whatever. He said, "You ain't shit." And he cried, and he walked in, and I saw him tear up, and I started tearing up. Because it's my nephew. I started crying, and I started crying because it hit me. My nephew's not gonna grow up to be a pussy. Like that's what, like maybe a psychopath, but not a pussy. Like that's what it. Because the thing is, those were tears, but those weren't tears of defeat. Those were tears of rage. You didn't see his eyes. You should have. He had that look of a man leaving a bank who just got turned down for a loan. Like that was the look he had. Where it's like he looked with my eyes, and he's like, "If you're here when I get back, I'm blowing some shit up." Like that's the way he looked. And I was like, "Good. Good." I was so proud of him. Because the thing is, everything he's done in his 9 years. Yeah, I crushed a 9-year-old. 10-foot basket regulation ball. Whatever. It was like in his 9 years of life, like everything he's done, it hasn't been like he hasn't been a bitch, but it's been very pussy-esque. You know what I mean? Like it's like he quit soccer because he didn't want to get too dirty. Like that was the thing. Like he makes his bed every morning. Nobody's ever asked him. He just does it. That's just something he did. He picked up on his own. He sleeps, I swear to God, he sleeps with his hands covering his ears. Like he sleeps like this. Like he falls asleep like this and he wakes up like that. Like that's a weird thing to do. And I asked him, like, Joshua, why do you sleep like that? And he's like, it's because it keeps the mean dreams out. They're your fucking dreams. You man up and you beat them. You face those dreams because they're your dreams. Every move you do is a final move. You created them. You guys not on board. You guys love my nephew more than I do. That's what happened there at the end. All right, that's a good sign. That's all I need to know how to do with that. That's fun. We can hammer this out in 2 minutes. I fuck around with my nephew. That's not like I know what I'm doing. 26. I still don't know what a date is. Isn't that weird? Fucking. And then I went out with a girl on what I thought was a date because I was the only one losing money. So I was like, oh, that's a date. That's how this works. We're not going tick for tack here. It's a date. That's what's happening right now. And after a couple of drinks, she was like, hey, I'm leaving. I was like, oh, by yourself? Okay, cool. I mean, I thought this was a date, but I guess we're just hanging out. Cool, leave, good, whatever, I don't care. My reaction, I stayed because I paid for the beers already. I had to finish both of them. I finished the beers and I go up, like I get my stuff to leave, and when I stand up I realize my fly is open, and it's been open the whole time. So I sent her a text that said, hey, if you left because my fly was open, good. That's what you should do. That's a weird thing for me to do on a first hangout. You should have left. And I haven't heard from her since. So I went from being disappointed this wasn't working out to being angry as a comedian, because that's a pretty funny text. You respond. If you're a civilian, that's a top 5 text guaranteed. How great is your fucking life? You write ha. That's all I wanted to write. Like, hey, that's so easy, right? Ha. Like, lie to me. Like, I don't care. Like, Miss, would you answer that text? Would you answer? That was the cutest thing ever. Kenny, would you answer that text? Of course you would, because it's a great fucking text. And if Penny said yes because I put her on the spot, she still lied to me like any decent woman would. You guys are cool. My name is Rob Perez. Have a good night.
Rojo Perez! Ladies and gentlemen, we got on deck is Cara Brandon, double deck is Mike Ogletree. Right now, please welcome to the stage Nikhil Tiwari!
How are you guys doing? Pretty good. Do you guys want to hear my favorite joke ever?
Yeah.
Alright. I'm thinking of writing a movie. It's kind of a sequel to Fast and the Furious. But it's also kind of a sequel to Gandhi. It's about the 1 week when Gandhi gets so pissed off, he quits his hunger strike, and he takes a machete, and he beats the shit out of the British. I'm gonna call it Too Furious and Fast. he's gonna make a lot of money too. I mean, think about it. Vin Diesel is Gandhi. Cash money. I went on a date recently, and it didn't go well. It was one of those dates where, like, I said some stuff and she laughed, and then she said some stuff and then I laughed, and then at the end I was like, "Hey, it was really great to meet you. We should do this again." And she was like, "You're nice," you know, which is not a good thing to hear at the end of a date. So I used to get depressed in that situation, but I've realized that there have been people in history who've had it worse than me in that regard, especially like old Greek people. Really old Greek people, like, say, Plato, right? Like, think about... Think about this, right? Think about Plato's dating situation, right? Think about the term platonic love, and then think about how many times do you think Plato went on dates where at the end of the day the girl was like, "I love you, Plato," but just as a friend. Like, it must have happened. Well, who's worse than that, I think, must have been Pythagoras. Did you guys know Pythagoras didn't have kids until he was 61 years old? Yeah. It's true, and it says a lot about what he wasn't doing before he was 61 years old, if you know what I mean. But it got me thinking... He wasn't having sex. It's got me thinking that his life would have been very different if he'd been born with a last name. Especially if that last name was Jones. Because to me, Pythagoras Jones is like a really cool name. You know? I think with a name like Pythagoras Jones, he would have gotten laid. And I don't mean like a little, I think we can all agree with a name like Pythagoras Jones, he would have gotten laid a lot. And the way I figure it, you just don't have time to calculate the hypotenuse of right angle triangles when you're busy fucking bitches. Right? Think about it. It's like a very different kind of Pythagorean theorem, right? Which goes, if you're busy fucking bitches, then you just don't have time to calculate. It's got this if-then structure. But I think it's just as true as the original because it completely explains my high school experience, you know? Because I successfully calculated the hypotenuse of a lot of right angle triangles when I was in high school, and I was never busy fucking bitches. I was telling my sister that, right? And she was like, "Hey, Nikhil, maybe the reason you don't have a girlfriend right now is the same reason you didn't have a girlfriend in high school. It's that you continue referring to women as bitches." Which I thought was a fair point. That's why I've started referring to women in like the politically correct gangster rap subgenre of not bitches. They're like, all right, whatever. So I asked my 13-year-old cousin a question recently. I asked him, like, who would you rather be, Jonas Salk or a Jonas brother? Okay. Now, if you're like my 13-year-old cousin, you're wondering, hey, who's Jonas Salk, right? And that blew my mind at the time because Jonas Salk 60 years ago was one of the most famous people in the world. He was a scientist 60 years ago who invented the cure for polio. Right? And polio was a big deal. 3% of Americans in this country are paralyzed because he invented that cure for polio. He was a big deal. He changed our lives. No one knows who he is. And then it occurred to me, of course no one knows who he is, like my 13-year-old cousin, because polio is not a thing anymore. Jonas Salk may as well not have existed. Jonas Salk was so successful at eradicating polio that he also eradicated his own family, right? Which is crazy. That means that there is a guy who's trying to cure cancer right now, and in 50 years, if he fails, no one will know who he is. But if he succeeds in 50 years, the exact same thing, right? It's crazy, right? It's crazy when you think about it. And that brings us to Walter Reed. Walter Reed, 100 years ago, he invented the cure for yellow fever, okay? Yellow fever was a big deal back then, and he became really famous. It's the reason we had to stop building the Panama Canal, because people were dying from yellow fever while they were trying to build it. It's the reason we were able to finish it. That changed American history. I didn't know who Walter Reed was, and I didn't know the yellow fever was a thing. So a couple months ago when I went to Tanzania, and I had to get my shots for yellow fever, or for stuff in Tanzania, I basically went to the doctor, and she's like, you need to get your yellow fever vaccine. The only time I ever heard of yellow fever was in the context of being really into Asian people. So I was like, they have a vaccine for that? That's cool. I think it's ignorant if you think all Asian people look alike, but what I'm trying to figure out is if it's ignorant if you think all Asian people look alike at low resolution. Right, because I had this friend, his name was Raymond Chan, I tried to find him on Facebook, so I searched for his name. There's like 50 Raymond Chans in the New York area, right? And they all come up with their super tiny pictures, and it was like, you know, where is he? Which brings me to my favorite joke of all time. Here we go. I think all peanut butter cups look alike, which I know makes me sound racist. How much time do I have?
24 seconds.
24 seconds. All right, my favorite joke. They're all my favorite jokes. Here we go. What do you call a pink flower that dies and then comes back to life?
What?
A reincarnation. Oh. You guys have been awesome. Thank you very much.
Tree Double Deck is Jonesy Boy. Right now, please welcome to the stage the lovely Cara Brennan!
So I'm going to read you all some poetry. And this first one, I've been working on for a while because a couple of weeks ago, I got into my first fight. It was more of an altercation, like it wasn't that dramatic. But I worked in bars in New York for like 5 years. I've never been in a fight. And then this happened, and I was like, finally! But it actually gave me all these feelings and thoughts. I was like, all right, I'm going to process these in an artistic format. So here we go. This is called Flirting with Disaster. Flirting with disaster is really fun until disaster decides you're a tease. And it's time to teach you a lesson. It's time to bring you down to its level and see if you like who you become. It's time to get right in your face and hold the fire so close it's burning your eyelashes, and the water streaming down your face isn't tears, it's the lifeblood of your responsible choices rushing away. But that's not what you're afraid of. What you're afraid of is how good that fire feels, how warm it makes your cold, tied-up bones, and how you just want to dive into it and burn until there's nothing left. Legend has it that old Norse warriors would work themselves into rage before battle, and when they waded into the fray, they seemed to feel no pain, and nothing could hold them. So intense, so consuming was their bloodlust. Well, I got my first sip, and now everything tastes like copper. I want to drink from the vein of suppressed indignities. They fill my cup over, and now it's all I can do to keep a lid on them. They say that you learn something about yourself the first time that you get in a fight. Well, I learned that the fight was always there, and this was just the first time I was able to take it for a walk on somebody else's body. A beautiful intersection between my wounded pride and some idiot messing with the wrong friend. I was a righteous avenger, and I let that lust wrap itself around my eyes and blindfold to reason and logic, and man, I liked having the lights turned off. Everything looked so good in that dark that I don't want to go back. There were no shades of right and wrong, just black anger. The weight of responsibility and nobility seem like such a drag now, when I know I could easily throw them off and carry only my fists because they're so much lighter. I know I am tempting fate. I know I'm asking for trouble with a capital black I, and the trouble is, I think I want fate to take my offer, to give in to me. I think every backhanded compliment and catcall and condescension is just working itself into a rage. I think every time I was told I was wrong is looking to prove it's right. I think every time I was made to feel small is looking to feel like a motherfucking Hulk. I think every time that when I go off, no one will be able to hold me. When I go off, you better hope I'm on your side. So when I go off, disaster and fate are the ones who run, because man, There are days when I just want to rip someone's head off and not be using a figure of speech when I tell the cops what happened. There are days when I want to punch my bathroom wall so hard I level the entire neighborhood and cause power outages in all 5 boroughs. There are days when I want to yell so loud those blood-soaked berserkers fighting thousands of years ago stop dead in their tracks because they think they just heard death calling their names personally. There are days that I feel like I should be locked up because powder keg doesn't even begin to describe the explosive potential that is locked behind these quiet eyes for too goddamn long, and it's irresponsible to let a bomb walk around, and I don't feel like that all the time. Hell, not even half the time. And I don't want to mislead you into thinking that I have anger problems or that I should invest in a heavy bag so I have something to pummel that won't press charges, although it couldn't hurt. But man, there are days. This is called Body of Proof. There is a compass etched into the inside of my skin, and while most of them should point north, this one just points to the direction I want it to go in the least. It enjoys nothing better than spinning me around and facing me firmly in the direction of my padlocked feelings, the ones that have been waiting somewhere between my heart and my hip bones for a long, long time. You see, as much as I might try to play mind games with myself and convince myself that I've matured as much as I'm going to and that I have everything perfectly under control, I can't lie to my body, and I won't listen if I try. And when I try to lull myself to peace with acknowledgments of how far I've come, my fingertips itch and trace the word liar on my skin in pale white circles, and I don't take time and I don't take anyone to bed anymore because I'm afraid that they'll see how bad I am at deceiving myself and how good I am at deceiving them. And I don't want to seal with a kiss what I can't look at in the light. This body is my best friend and my worst enemy. It's my best friend because my tireless feet keep moving me forward no matter how badly I just want to lay down and give up. And it's my worst enemy because my obnoxious feet keep moving me forward no matter how badly I just want to lay down and give up. More than the physical trials it endures and accomplishes for me, my body is the carrier of the energies that I have been running from my entire life. I realize that while food and music and sex are fuel, emotions are the goal, the product, and logic is just the guidebook for what to do with them. And for such a long time, I thought that what I felt was the distraction, and I am having to rewrite every map I ever charted. And my compass hurts from spinning so hard. It has been trying to tell me this for years and years. I didn't understand what the sharp pain in my chest was. It was my body trying to point me back to myself. The point of the compass is committed to its trajectory, and that's why I keep going in circles, because this beating is a cycle that is trying to break free of itself. It's trying not to cycle back to the time when I thought that in order to make someone believe you, you had to make a case. You had to back yourself up with the burden of proof and the burden of reason every single time. And while that works in a courtroom, it doesn't work in a heart, and my heart didn't realize that every time I tried to convince myself that I was worthy, I didn't need proof. I didn't need the evidence of others' eyes, but it took me so long. It's taking me so long to understand that just because something isn't validated by a chain of events doesn't mean it isn't real. And that just because something is wet with emotion doesn't mean it isn't capable of drying into a map that will show you where I left my self-worth. My body knows me really well, and I know it. I have given it special attention because it is something I can see and touch. I have proof that it exists. When I fall down, my knees bruise to show me that I was hurt. When I cut my finger, my hand bleeds to show me that I was injured. But hearts don't bleed, and spirits don't broadcast their bruises in colors that we can see. And it took me a long time to realize that the proofs I thought mattered aren't the ones you can list. And they don't follow a chain of logic that you can present to demand.
So it's
Is that fun? Yeah! Woo, Daddy! We'll take the second half. That's gonna happen. We're almost there. We got baby. You need some
Those names awesome. We got on deck is John Savoy, double deck is Alex. Right now, please welcome Mike Ogletree.
How is it going? Usually I come up here and talk for about 7 minutes, and then the time's run out. Because I can get very chatty. There's a lot of Scottish people of Celtic nature can. Because the Celtic culture's got lots of stories in it. So this is the part of New York. Chill out. Definitely get to them. Definitely. So, it's just exciting because it's very exciting what I have to talk about tonight. Now, you have to forgive me because we come here, we workshop our show. Right now, I'm going to get visceral with you because this is a very visceral subject. But it's a bit of a downer. You know? I'm sorry, it's a downer. It's a downer. Then the show has the up parts in it. You see, you've got to build the show. You take the audience down, you bring them up. Okay? So I'm giving you a little bit of insight on how to construct your set. Right. But this is a bit of a down on the show. I usually like coming out and make people feel happy and laugh. I'm going to talk to you about the subject of war. Right, war is a kind of visceral subject. You know, war. Blood and guts and all that. It has its aesthetic too. People write poetry about war. I didn't know that. Famous English poets wrote poetry about war. It has its aesthetic value to it. We're going to talk tonight about the cost of war. Now, the cost of war is something that usually gets calculated monetarily, right? Or in the cost of lives. Now, it's easy to talk about those things. Oh, yeah, there's so much money and so many lives, and that's fine, right? But there is another cost that we need to address. And I spoke to a lawyer from the UN about this, and she asked me to write a song. And I looked into this, and actually found out that there is another cost when you calculate the cost of war. And it's the cost of the psychological cost on the people that have to live with the effects of war. And she was talking specifically about zones of conflict, where you have refugee camps. And you have children that are in these refugee camps, and they've got nothing. They've got no homes. They don't even have a constitution. They don't have any rights. And she is her purpose is to bring this to the attention of the UN by having discussions. You know how the UN works, right? So that's her purpose. She asked me to write a song, so I wrote a song. I'm hurrying up here. It's a great story. And you can get into the visceral and so on. But anyway, the point is, I wrote the song about the cost of war to highlight this problem that there are these children. And she said to me, can you come and be the ambassador of peace in the UN when I do this thing? So I'm going to go and I'm going to sing this song to these people at the UN and tell them to fucking wake up, you know? Because, the people at the UN, they can't even sit in the fucking same room as each other. The Jews and the Arabs, or the Israelis, excuse me, and the Arabs, they went, peace here, I'm leaving. That's the end of the chance for any kind of dialogue of peace. So it's ridiculous. I'm going to go a little bit of the ambassador of peace, from Scotland. I need your help tonight. We're going to do this song. It's called The Cost of War. Very simple. I need you to shout it out so you can hear it. Up in the UN. You ready? It goes like this. The cost of war. Right? That's it. The cost of war. Come on. That's the cost of war. Now, you're on your feet too. The cost of war. On your hand. Now, the cost of war on the children. And the cost of war on their emotions. And there's a cost of war on their future. And
across the war on the June. Sing it loud now. Across the war on every ocean. Sing it. Hey. Across the war on every ocean. And that's across the war. It's a price they pay today. Whenever conflict feels its complete head, let the passion bring it peace instead. You've got the power in your hands. Hey, don't abuse it now. You're gonna use it now. They got the hostile war is on the children. And the hostile war on every ocean. Come on! And that's the hostile war on the children. Yes, and the hostile war on every ocean. The coastal war is a terrible day. The dying, breathe the dying, and you jump up at the coast. I don't remember what it's all about. But at the coastal war on the ocean, and the coastal war is the price they pay today. Coastal war.
Thank you, Barry. Thank you, Mike Malaco. Thank you, Dan Rica. We have any more time? Peace, man.
That's Mike Ogletree! That's Mike Ogletree and the House Band, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna give away free beer and 2 more people. Who wants one? Yeah! Yes! Yes, after 2 more people. They're ready, they're prepared, they're good, they do their job. Our house band. Alright guys, on deck is Alex, on double deck is Gregory Levine, and we're giving away a free drink, then we're gonna go right into the second half, starting off with Frank.